Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Good Friday, and we got a lot of stuff to get to. So, oh my goodness, sorry, I'm trying to figure out why I can't move in my chair. I think I'm going to move my table forward. I'm so sorry. Not professional at all today. How is everybody? It's Good Friday, and it's 1 week until I have my first time visiting with our good friend Sarasota Tim. This is Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe. I'm a registered nurse here in the United States, and I just make commentary and opinion around people that I think are being wild on the internet, maybe giving out medical misinformation. Maybe people are doing all sorts of stuff. We got a lot of things to catch up today. I wanted to cover some other creators, not really like that, but just some things in the community. So maybe I think we'll touch base about that that other people have posted, just to kind of round up the week. I know everybody is getting ready for Easter, so happy Easter Sunday ahead of time. I tend to work Sundays, but who knows? I may or may not stream. I may do a video. I don't know. It's going to get busy. What is everybody else's plans this Easter weekend? Pop them down in the chat. Pop down what you're going to be doing this Easter. I'd love to hear. I'm going to share everybody's comments on the stage. How is everybody? Sorry, I'm running 10 minutes late. You made it. I made it too. I wanted to get refreshed like Tim and get ready to go. Though I'm not a fan of ironing like he is, but he's got some, I don't even know what to say. The content has gotten dire. Hey, Stacy, come on in. It's good to see you. You think he's going to church, Scott? I think he's grown so fearful of this life path that he believes only being in the house of God will get him heard. Well, I just always think that there's nothing bad with religion. I promise you. But the way Tim has suddenly started to practice his has given question to his commitment to his faith. I know people go in and out of their faith. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the way he presents it as being something that shields him from any wrongdoing. That once he sort of says he absolves, self and gives himself to Christ and everybody else is the enemy, then Tim has absolved himself from any retribution to anything that he does. And I think that's not how life works. And you can still be religious, but I don't think that's an absolution for your wrongdoings. And I think that his act is trying to throw everybody else under the bus and try to elevate himself. I think he tries to throw literally everybody. So we're going to kind of follow two of his primary videos because he's obviously spitting them out. He's going to make that coin off of his videos, and I'm going to make coin off of his. So make sure, in order to help me, make sure you guys hit the likes. Okay. And then halfway through this wonderful Friday stream, it's a beautiful day. I thought I'd just get this out early. I'm going to try to get out and enjoy some time with my dogs after this. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Let people know that we're here. All right. So we did release a poll. So if you haven't had a chance to get into the poll, do so. And yeah, let's just have some fun this afternoon. It's not going to be fun listening to Tim's stuff, man. It's terrible. Okay. So we know that Tim has been talking a lot about attending church. And my kind of thoughts and feelings of this are, he always did a crushing it for Christ. But if we remember this time last year, Tim literally started sporting a black eye around Easter time. That was the time of the infamous preacher seats. And he went out of town. He went and had a visit with Teddy and Jolene. As always, he showed up seemingly empty-handed to everybody else's party. And he met up with his son and his son's wife, and then he suddenly didn't show up on camera. And next thing we know, Tim said he was doing preacher seats because he had this big black eye, and we never knew what really happened. And so that's kind of what the happenings were last Easter for Tim. This year, we have the holier than thou, the Crusading Tim. You know, he is fighting us from the best RV ever, which is not the best RV ever. I saw one video about it on YouTube, and there was one comment underneath that just said it was a money pit. So nobody seems to think that this is the best RV on the market by a long shot, except for Tim. But he does a lot of preaching and crusading from it, you know. And I mean, if you just are ready for that. Okay, so question is, because he talks about this, do you believe Tim is actually attending church in person? You know, I mean, really, because I don't know. I'm still sort of thinking he may be only in the coffee bowl. But don't listen to my opinion. These are my opinions and just my opinions only. And I just always want to remind everybody that we obviously do everything around here in fair use. Okay, so anything we're doing, education, entertainment purposes, because spotting a religious gaslighter or spiritual gaslighter, such as Sarasota Tim, I think is important information. Okay, so in first place at 56%, no video, it didn't happen. And second place is at 30%. He goes to the coffee bar at church. And third place is 16%. Yes. Why would he lie about that? Question mark. It's a good question. Why would he lie about going to church? That doesn't seem on brand. Tim is such a good and honest man. Oh my goodness. So his videos are just this one, the evening chat, change of plans. Somebody actually suggested to do a poll. So maybe we'll do a poll about this later on. If we get to 100 votes on the current poll, maybe we'll switch out and ask whether or not we believe Sarasota Tim is going to put the truck into use and actually put the KLX in the truck bed rather than just have it at the front of the truck. Because he doesn't want to seemingly scratch it up, because we know that Tim has a hard time, even with dew on his shoes, guys. I hope everyone's getting ready for their Easter today. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. Yeah, happy Good Friday. I don't know if we can say happy Good Friday. I'm going to put it up anyway. Hold on, let me take this banner down. I don't know is that technically allowed to be said? I don't know. I think I put that out once and somebody said, you can't say that. It's just Good Friday. So it's just a Good Friday. And I'm going to have a sip of Good Friday cheer. Because I know that this Sunday is going to be the busiest day in church. And I used to actually work be on the altar, I should say. But I don't know if Tim is going to be wanting. I mean, this whole new Tim is kind of getting frustrating. I am going to give away some memberships halfway through this. I didn't want to say. Oh my goodness, this evening chat, guys. It's so bad. It's really bad. Time is running out. I mean, somebody thinks that he's probably ill. Somebody got snippy in his comment section. This guy, Strider MD. He and I don't get on. He's got 60 up likes. He came back. And now Tim is responding about leaving the country because Tim doesn't want to do that now. And he got a little bit shirty with this subscriber. He's not been blocked. He's one of Tim's faithfuls. Tim actually, gave this awesome reply that seemed very Christian. He said it was a fair point. Variety keeps things fresh, but here's the thing. I'm building this channel my way. This is Tim's Christian words, not on someone else's wish list, because this guy gave recommendations to Tim about improving his click-through rate and how he is not going to get to his so desired 100K plaque if he continues with delivering the content that he is delivering. I don't think this gentleman, hold on, let me make me smaller. I don't think this gentleman has also factored in that Tim is not one to take advice from other people. Trendy Tim is planning a new craze in Florida next week wearing sweats at the beach. You don't like when it's the next members only? I'm going to try to see maybe plan for tomorrow. I'm going to try. I don't want to commit to anything because I won't get in trouble. But I know I need to do one soon. We'll be doing one soon. We'll do one soon. They still get feisty in those chats, I promise you. So this gentleman gave Tim, based on this video here, gave Tim some advice. And Tim was not happy about this. So let's just listen to Tim, and then we can take a look at that comment. We got to get to 1.5. I can't go to 2. It's too quick. And I don't think we need to listen to the first part. I think we can get past the first few moments. It doesn't really matter. It's an absolute sermon. He's sermonizing everybody. Make sure to hit the likes if you don't like to be sermonized or preached at by Tim.
That odds. So we're gonna wait till it gets a little darker, and I'm gonna go out there and try it. I don't know if I can video it because I gotta use 2 hands. But anyway, I just got them today. It took a week almost to get here because I don't have Prime anymore. Trying to save money. Part of tonight's talk.
Well, Strider doesn't think I should do commentary on Tim's content and stuff, so I don't really care for what Strider has to say. That's just me being biased. And then anybody watching Tim in all seriousness and trying to give Tim advice when Tim is probably feeling feisty because of what he's going to court for, don't think Strider's reading the room very well. Or he's poking the bear. Let's say it that way. That's all I'm going to say.
Saving money.
Yay!
I've actually talked to several people that on YouTube.
He's editing. That's not Tim. Thank you, everybody. I don't know if any of my mods have been here. They're probably working and doing stuff, but you can drop your link in the chat so to Tim, because he does some awesome short parodies and little videos with the character Sourcetter Tim. It doesn't look like he's leaving town for Easter. We thought in the community that maybe he would go to see his daughter and visit her. And lo and behold, no. But thank you. Yeah, classic Tim. You do you, I'll do me, folks. Happy Easter egg. Yeah, we're going to take a bigger look at that exchange between Tim and that subscriber momentarily. But I thought we'd get into a react first, and then we'll take a look at that. Because Tim's popped out some videos. We're not going to look at all of them. I don't think we'll listen to him debating about the KLX because he hasn't moved anywhere yet. It's almost like why even make a recommendation like that? And Tim has tried to do thumbnails, and if he doesn't get my estimation is that Tim, if he does not get 20,000 views, I better not knock my drink over. 20,000, I can get very handsy. 20,000 views on the first time he's put out something with a updated thumbnail or a little catchy intro or something of that nature. He's going to be unwilling to want to try it again. And he didn't even want to pay. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I'm coming out on the right thing with my audio. I want to make sure. Yes, okay. I wanted to make sure my audio was selecting 15 different microphones, which were not the ones I wanted to use. I want to have decent sound. Okay. But yeah, thank you for that, Source Editor Tim. Oh yeah, he really gets into some you do me, I'll do me. And I think a lot of it could stem from, as I said, and I can't talk, but just things happening in Tim's life that he is not going to discuss openly on his channel. He'll only do it in a veiled way where he is the victim and the religious, God-fearing, good Christian man, just with the enemies throwing arrows at him.
And people that I've actually just met in conversation. And I don't think it was by chance that these conversations kept coming up. And so that prompted me to, thank you, St. Louis Scott. That prompted me to talk about tonight's video. It's the same as things you've heard me talk about before, but different. Something has to be done. You and I need to seriously do something. Lots of somethings. A few somethings. Very important in your life, because here's life. You can make life anywhere you want. Okay? Here it is. And this is the beginning, and this is the end. And a lot of us are right about here. So if you don't think there's any rush on some of the things we're going to talk about, then, good for you.
Oh, great. Let's just tune in for the Tim Reaper this holiday, guys. He's so cheerful. It's my favorite character. He's got the black shirt on. Oh, he put the sporty shirt on for this. This is the casual talk. He gets real serious in this one, guys. I'm just going to warn you. He's got things to say, so you better sit down for this one.
However, it's hitting me more and more and more every day. All right, where do I begin? Let's begin with conversations that I've had with several people in the last week or so. And it keeps coming up. And they were like, Tim, I watch your videos, and let me tell you, I live in 1/3 of my house.
I don't remember seeing any of these comments. Do you? I don't remember seeing any. Granted, I've been quite busy lately. And so I haven't been collecting the pearls of Tim's comment section like I usually do. And he's kind of, he's got just this religious preachy stuff. I have had some comments, but he's kind of left some up recently, which is odd. Anyway, he's just a man of contradictions. Keep going, Tim.
I have 2 places, and I'd be happy with keeping my runaway place. And my main place where I live could be something less, a camper, a condo, a townhouse, an RV. I mean, not an RV, a tiny home, something, with low square footage and a safe, clean.
Well, today we are a week away from one of the court dates. That's all I'm going to say, because everyone knows it's April the 10th. So that's exactly a week from today, which reminds me, I have to finish a module for my work today. So after this, I got to do something for work. I need to write that down. I got something I gotta do for work, otherwise I'll get in trouble.
Nice area that I can simply sleep, cook, eat, recharge my battery. Because really, we talked about this before, where I sit in this chair right here. When I'm in here, I'm not in that bed unless it's time for me to go to bed. If I had a big apartment, I wouldn't be in the bed any more than I'm in my bed here. I would be in my living room, likely, or sitting in some table or some chair with the TV, or I'd be outside, going and doing, enjoying life. So no matter what size place or structure you have, you're using this much of it, and then at night you vacate the chair and you go to the bed. So if that's a fact, and hey, look, if it was free or it only cost you pennies, like once upon a time, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We'd all have McMansions. We'd all have 3 2s, 4 4s, 4 3.5s, 2-car garage. But
he's very obsessed with other people having a property and he does not. Or comparing it to his, obviously, the RV, which is the central site of his discussions, always coming from the which I have not seen anything that says this is not a very well built structure. This is what we'll go over in the members only. How about that? I'll bring up the video where this is not a very well built structure. That's what the lady said, who's an expert.
It's like a lot of guys that buy these 4-wheel drive trucks, and they got an $800 truck payment. And after about 6 of them, they're like, this ain't so fun anymore, and I'm not really enjoying that bitchin' looking truck because
how can you talk about being a Christian and talk about a bitchin' looking truck? Thank you, Real Melvis Smelvis. Thank you. Happy Easter. So appreciated. I love this. Thank you, because it irritates all my haters, which I have many too. I'm sure Tim's trying to figure out how many hater videos he has. Gonna be good. But thank you. I like that. Thank you for being you too. I certainly appreciate you all joining me. I wanted to get out early this Good Friday. Good Friday, actually, if anybody knows the history of Virginia Beach, we had a really bad jet accident that was, luckily, for the grace of what they called the Good Friday miracle, nobody was killed and nobody was seriously really hurt. And this jet hit an apartment complex that's not far from where I actually live, believe it or not. It was right next door to where my friend's house was. I mean, literally like the condo that he owned, which often sometimes they're like, or I should say townhouse kind of community. It's still his community, still there. He's since long moved out. But he owned a place there, and it was like literally right next to it. So we could look over the fence to where the site was. But he could not get home that Good Friday because the jet had hit these apartment blocks right here in Virginia Beach. And if anybody's ever been to Virginia Beach, you know that we have Oceana, the base where the flight school is for the Navy aircraft carriers that do have the jets. So yeah, that was wild. And so my friend had to come over here. But thankfully, they call that the Good Friday miracle because thankfully nobody was hurt. But yeah, sorry. I just always think about that that particular Friday. It was a interesting and day because, like I said, it just missed my friend's home. But thankfully nobody was hurt. Since then, they've built some Ryan homes on there. I actually took a look at purchasing one, but they didn't have any yard. I say, you know what? I'm just going to stay where I'm at.
Every time I turn around, 30 days is going by. I got to shell out before gas, before insurance. And it's the same thing with your home.
You know, you
never really own it. You've got this insurance.
I'm going to start being like a real streamer, and I'm going to make sure I add. This is for all of you who have been so generous and all of you who are sitting and watching and liking and subscribing, and all of you gifting stuff. It really does mean a lot to me because I really do feel that you guys help me teach people to maybe be cautious of somebody like Tim, who we know that we've watched for some time, and we've seen his and everybody has transgressions, but his loudness and his religion and his kind of, I think he feels like he's still better than everybody else. And so I appreciate it. And thank you so much for those 5 gifted memberships. That's so kind of you. Let's see who was Dinger for you. Yay! Battery exhausted. Boom shakalaka 67. Juror number 6. And Flor de Mapolita. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. You're making Easter a really good day for Junebug, Roscoe, and I, except they're all snoozing on the couch. We went to the puppy park earlier. Thank you again for that. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I have a cricket for some Tim too. Tim really stinks in this one. We're gonna have to get out some drops soon. Oh, at the beginning he does dry beg for some. Oh, you know what I forgot to play? At the very beginning of this video, darn it, I skipped over it. Tim talks about the fact he dropped his Prime with Amazon. Did you guys hear that? And we're going to have to go back at the very beginning. We'll go through this, but at the very beginning, we'll have to listen to that part where Tim dry begs, obviously, to get some Prime. So thank you for helping me pay for my YouTube Prime. But he got rid of his Amazon because he said it was, too much money. After the months before, he had remember all that stuff he was having delivered for the motorbikes? He's just. I just cannot. Now he's like pleading poverty, Absolutely, Tim.
Tax, you've got utilities, you've got maintenance and repairs, you always got to buy new furniture, you got painting, and so it used to be called cash flow. You got cash flow, you're in that part of life. We're not talking about remember life, and then we're down to here, a lot of us that watch me. We're not back here in the middle where we're still generating and creating, raising families and building wealth. We are in the last chapters. And
it's just something, every time he talks about raising families, and we know that he actually historically seemed to marry, have a child, divorce, marry, have a child, divorce, marry, have a child, divorce, and then talk about him doing himself. Doesn't really sort of give the sense that he was raising a family. I know he doesn't like the criticism on that, but it'd just be better if you didn't say that. It'd be better to say that I wasn't that person. That would be more honest. And this is the stuff that I just feel like he is somebody who's absolutely feels that he has the crusade here, that he's the one who has been wronged on the platform. Also, this is a shield for that.
And a lot of people are still struggling and working. Like some of the people I talked to this week are still working 40 hours a week. And because they've gotten themselves in a position, or they can make a change, and make it less and lower their overhead, their nut, as I call it, a little smaller nut to crack. But they're in this living above their means. And what's happened? Utilities have gone up. Food's gone up. Gas has gone up. $4.29 a gallon for gasoline. Folks, it isn't coming down. I don't care what you're hearing. Now, I'm not a crystal ball. You can't believe a damn thing I say. You know that. But in my opinion, you think you're going to see $3 again? You think gas is going to drop a whole dollar a gallon? $1.50 a gallon, I should say? Give me a break. Give me a huge break. Do you think?
Here he goes off on the gas again, guys. This is a guy who used to get $1,000 a month and buy me coffees to help him his travels and stuff. He really did make it. And I don't come from a place of jealousy. I'm just saying that he's still getting a new e-bike and being able to make a decent amount of money from this channel. Obviously, he never wanted that gravy train to end. And it's not ended. He's still making something, but I don't know. Sometimes this religious stuff pays off for people. I mean, if he just buckles down and wants to be Preacher Tim the whole time, I mean, I don't know how much more, I can deal with this, which is why I'm hoping we could just talk about other people and topics, maybe more interesting folk in the news and stuff. Palm Beach Pete.
At Publix and Winn-Dixie and all the Kroger and all these grocery stores and say, hey, announcement, all of our prices are being reduced. The gas came down, oil's down, and all the food has dropped 30%. Come and get it. Never going to happen. They keep inching you up. You keep taking it. And then after a month goes by, maybe two, we're so used to it, and we're so worried about the next big engagement that happens of a war or breaking news or the stock market or the housing or the interest rate or this or that or something, a terrorist attack. It's always something to move you from focusing and giving you too much time to dwell on one thing. They got so much coming at you. You're like, I don't know how to deal with it all.
I'm not laughing about the war.
Fun and pleasurable.
It's terrible. But we know how Tim was running around in November of 24. Let's just say in October. I need to bring little clips in of him running around with signs outside of roads and stuff where he made his feelings very known. I just couldn't even. He got so as much as he got into that last 6 months ago, is as much as he's getting into talking about Jesus now, and both of those are topics that I think that usually when I grew up in what was known as polite society, they were two topics that you stayed away from, and not that you don't have them, but hopefully they're good and informed decisions that you make. Because you're reading, I don't know, this man, he's going to kill my channel. Tell me you're going to kill my channel too. Goodness me. Happy Easter, everyone. It's Good Friday.
Oh, that's gold for sure. Did you see that? We're only going to go with a half a cup. It's late. Turn the pot off. See that color? Take a look.
Fortunately, I'm going to have to stay just because we are so close to those dates.
That is heavy whipping cream, baby. All right, let's try it out. It's consistent. Folks, I'm not kidding you. That's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. Man, that's good. At least one thing stays consistent. Oh, I'm telling you, get you some coffee with heavy whipping cream and no sugar.
Oh.
That is good.
Oh, he gets upset with politicians now. He takes no accountability. This is the preachiest, from my RV that the lady with the 100K plaque behind her says not to live in. She says not even to purchase. I'm going to have to come out with the receipts. But he takes up so much time with 26 minutes of just the wildest things I think I've ever heard of 67. I promise you, I live in Virginia. Oh, somebody's flashing me text messages. I can probably get.
We'll be hopped up now.
Yeah.
So things are not going to come down. The war isn't going to end next week or next month. The gas prices are going to stay. At the end of summer, they're going to come down.
Hey,
you know what you might see? I'm predicting right now. Gas is $4.50. It's going to go higher. It's $4.29 here in Florida. It's still sub $4 in the Carolinas and Georgia and a few places where I don't know why it's always cheap there. They don't have the taxes or something. $5 a gallon in California.
No, Tim, I think it's to do with how the gas is delivered. I think there's literally like pipelines that this is what I understood, because South Carolina has the best gas in the world. Just going to say, at least from my experience and from what I can hear. But I lived in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and you could get gas that was just pure gasoline, not mixed with 10% ethanol or any of that, or it was just the pure gas. And it was less expensive than you would pay for the mixed gas up in other states. So South Carolina, I think it's to do with the fact there might be pipes from the refineries or something that come into these states, therefore lowering the transportation cost of these gases to their populations, or something of that nature. That's what I understood. But South Carolina has the best gas prices and the best gas. You get good gas right there at the pump, and I always got that for my car. I said, I'm gonna get the good stuff. I'm in South Carolina, and I gotta travel, on the highway.
$375, you're gonna think you're stealing it. And that's a great deal.
Is it $485? Oh,
and
wow,
we've already seen
that's
$375
high.
before it went up to $450 or $429 now. So
that's high
$399,
now.
$389, $379. You may not even ever see $370.
Wow, that's high now. When I lived in South Carolina, it was 2017 to 2018, around that time, up in Rock Hill, right outside Charlotte. And it was I remember the gas prices were awesome. Which I was grateful for, because I was driving back and forth to Virginia Beach because my condo was here and I'd want to come home. My life was here still, even though I travel. I have friends, actually, fortunately, who lived in Fort Mills.
25 again. I can only pray that it goes down to $2.50 a gallon. You're like, no, that ain't going to happen.
Oh, okay. Well, $3.85.
$3 a gallon isn't going to happen either.
Okay, $3.85. That makes more sense for South Carolina. So I'd say South Carolina, come on. I can't be more than Virginia. That makes better sense. It's probably the good stuff, too. Telling you, South Carolina has best gas prices. That's my experience. There might be other Gulf states with better prices, but I'm just talking East Coast, okay? I'm being an elitist, I guess.
So, what is that in a percentage? Don't get me to give you any math.
Oh, no,
but I can tell you, are you getting a pay raise?
That.
Did they call you in your office and say, hey, everything is 30, 40% more now, and it's 30% for food and gas and all these things and utilities, so we're going to raise your salary 50%. So you got at least a 10% raise over what the cost of living is. You think they're going to do that? That's another one that's never going to happen. So what will happen? Well, not to be a pessimist, but I would say that the disparity that has continued.
One, Tim, I would suggest probably looking at your channel analytics, because I'm not sure how many of your audience are still of working age. Obviously, there's still probably some, but not many. And two, for somebody who said that they never really had a traditional job and just, stopped the longer, more sort of prison job, if you called it, for the car sales after 17 years, and you started at 16 or 17. So you were there up until your sort of early to mid 30s. And then for the remainder of that time, up until 60, you were, from I understand, belly to belly coupon sales until the panini came up, and then questionable acquiring of monies through the government. And then, in my opinion, and then YouTube came along, and then it's just been from there. And anybody who's dared to call you any type of criticism or commentary is the devil. That's what I'm getting.
Happening between haves and have-nots will grow wider and wider and wider and wider. And the people that can afford to start a business.
My point is that Tim talks about workers as with not really having been one. And then now he's off about these businesses. I just don't understand. This is like this other guy I talked about the other day too. Going off and talking off about this stuff. I understand. Topics around finances can be fascinating. But I think there's still, you've got to be somewhat level-headed. Otherwise, you'll get into the doom gloom. And I don't know if that's always psychologically a good place to be. I understand we all have struggles. I promise you. I live in a reality. It's just, I've seen the cost of things rising also. And I've always been somebody who's been pretty frugal. I've never really been super, having to live above my means. I'm just excited. My car's almost paid off. Yay.
And lose money if it doesn't work out, or buy properties or develop properties and lose money on it. These are companies that can buy and lose money 100 times.
Okay,
and not affect them,
that's
like
not too
BlackRock
bad, Debbie.
and other big corporations that are buying everything up. You as an individual want to start a business or start something that you can develop that you think that would make you money and save other people money. I think it's a pipe dream. I believe you can still make $1 million. I believe there are still entrepreneurs. I do believe that you have all the opportunities it's always had. I just believe you have the opportunity. I just believe that the chances and the opportunities are narrowing because of AI. Every idea. I mean, look at all the things that people made a lot of money at. They're obsolete now because of AI. A lot of jobs, a lot of things that people started made big money. And now, if they wanted to create that idea.
Well, Tim, you're making creators obsolete because you're watching all those AI preachers. Have you thought about that? I don't watch those AI channels. I can't stand the voices. I can tell if a voice has nuance or something. I don't enjoy those channels, to be honest. I like the parodies of Tim, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about like the ones that talk about economics and stuff. I actually rather see a person talking about economics, explaining kind of the nuances of it. I don't really enjoy like the AI constructed. The parody stuff, no, that's sometimes different. So I just want to clarify.
Yeah, that isn't going to fly. Why would we do that when we got this? So they keep replacing things. And it's happening at light speed. Again, not to depress you, because I'm not going to make this a religious video, but there is a higher power. And his name is G-O-D, Jesus. And he helps those that ask him. And that's what I've been doing. Because when I talk to these people I've talked to in the last week, and I've had my own questions about traveling and, my content, and what am I going to do? And what's the next step? How do I get the play button? It's so easy to be attacked by the enemy today.
I know.
It's almost like these end times, you're seeing an exponential coming at you. The darts, the arrows, they were coming at you. You dodge them, catch one, pull it out, get it healed. And now it's like a machine gun. They're shooting at you so fast. And the people that it's affecting mostly are the ones that are in the negativity. They watch the social medias and read the news and watch the news and look and scroll on their phone and the Facebooks and TikToks and everything that you can imagine. And so they take it up a notch, and those people are getting.
Says the man releasing YouTube videos and shorts. This is it just I don't think he understands how ironic he is.
Hit hard, harder than some of the others, because they're just wanting negativity, they're wanting drama. They have no clue of God or praying or getting help from.
That's us. That's us, guys. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. We are the negative, wanting drama people that Tim does not like now. If it's not about Tim just making hand over fist on this platform and never getting criticized, then, jeez, the rest of us are awful humans. Especially me. I'm like at the top of the heap. Tim's made sure he's sent arrows at me many a time.
Their savior. And so that tells me that we need a savior. We need more positive talk. We need more encouragement. We need what I've been getting lately. This is what I want to share with you. Now, I'm 67.
Are you good?
I'm a regular guy. I've been good.
See, I'm not going to see those types of prices here at the beach because obviously we're coming into tourist season. So I have to. Oh, goodness. Tim's taking a hike. Oh, here comes Tim. This is the part we got to get ready, guys. Now that Tim's leaning up against the countertop there. What? Hey, careful with that countertop, Tim. You could loosen up that top there. I don't know what that top is made of. What is it made of? It's not granite.
Could have been bad. And in God's eyes, since I was born, I was a dirty, rotten scoundrel. But through the shed blood of Jesus Christ,
oh no,
I've been reborn,
Thank
and
you.
the blood of Christ has washed me clean, and I can come to him without any embarrassment or any shame and ask him for anything I want in my life, even if I continue to stumble, because I believe in him and I confess him as my Lord and Savior. And this is the key to helping yourself with all the questions that you might have about that life. And you're right here. What do you do with this last bit? If you don't think it's important, then you can just turn this video off right now, because if you don't think that only having this, the hourglass, the sand, is about out, and you want to just keep doing what you're doing.
The sands of the hourglass of time and the world turns, or whatever that used to be. The sands like the hourglasses. Oh gosh. I used to hear that used to be one of those soap operas I used to enjoy watching, because I used to be full of energy, and I would come and visit my grandmother from the UK here in Virginia Beach, and I would often work in the mornings at a local motor world, they used to call it. Like, it was a place with like speed racy cars, but for people to try like little ones, next to a water park. So it was that type of a place. It's still here in Virginia Beach. And I worked there one summer, and I would be there all day, and I just used to ride a bike there, because obviously I was not here from the States long term. So it was like a mile. So anyway, I ride my bike there. So I would come back and having worked and stuff, and I'd be hungry and wanting to eat something. I used to get these soap operas playing, and remember watching this at my grandma's place. And I remember the days of our lives, or as the world turns, the sands of the hourglass. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Stressing, worrying, not being free, not living a life that you only wish you could have, living it for others, listening to others. You need to shake yourself. You need to get to yourself. This is why it's great. I was watching something today. Paul says in the Bible, if it was up to him, he would wish that we would all be like him, single. Because a lot of times when you have a big social life, or you're married, or you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, that's a distraction if you're not equally yoked, keeping you from growing.
I don't think it was.
And then when God takes certain people, like I believe he does with me, because I've been solo most of my life, that's when he works best. And then he lets certain doors close and certain things happen. Then he starts taking certain people out of your lives. Certain doors, they seem locked, and you're questioning everything. What's wrong with me? I feel lonely. I'm unseen. What did I do? Does God not love me anymore? Whatever. You know what he's doing? He's setting you up to bless you. Even if you can't afford to go and do things and travel, if you could just be free, right?
It was the days of our lives.
Do what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying that you quit your job at 62, you get your Social Security, and you can live on that, because you can't.
Tim would like to have a girlfriend that would cook and clean for him. That's all he wants. He just thinks women have a purpose to make his ass happy. Pardon my French. There's no partnership in it. Miss Tammy, she knew how to set the boundaries. And, Tim, come on. What are you offering? Anybody knows you're aging. You're not like, that's why. Is that why he tries to walk around looking wealthy? So he can snare some poor lady who doesn't have a clue?
If you get the upper end of Social Security, even if you're one of these people who believe in I'm waiting until I'm 70, well, then you're almost dead anyway. But if you wait until you're 65 or 67 for that few $100 that got eaten up already in inflation, and you think that's your golden ticket without working still, you're fooling yourself. You still need to supplement it. But if you got a couple of G's coming in, $1,500, $2,000 coming in, guaranteed, like clockwork.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's a dry bag, because that means that people, Tim, people have got to watch your content then, sir. There's only one thing to say.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry bag. Well, you know what that is.
And I don't mind admitting if I dry bag. Gosh, can you believe it? This is what Tim's talking about. And I'm talking about Tim. But this is so many times that I think that people have known somebody like this in their lives, or have seen other public figures have things that they are doing that they know are not legitimately good things about their character. And they always try to sweep it under the rug by saying they found God. And I just find it to be the biggest bunch of hypocrisy. And it is not going to make it just, and there's always a group of people that are, super religious who are going to be like, oh, absolutely. And I think there's so little question when people talk about that. It's like, I think we need to be more discerning, because that's every time, especially with these folks on the internet, that's just happens all the time. Name a scandal, person probably found either a rehab or religion or both.
Change with the government. They talk about it. Starting to believe it myself now. I mean, they got so much debt. No taxes are coming in.
Oh, that's awesome.
But if you got that coming in, you got that.
Oh, that's awesome. That your mom is still driving at 100 and feels great. That's awesome. Good for her. You know what? There's only one thing to say about that. Let me find it. Because that's awesome for your mom. Thank you for sharing. I like that. Thank you. Tim is, going to put her on the Tim Reaper train.
Rub steak, that leg up, that first bite. And then all you got to do is match that. It wouldn't take 40 hours a week. You can check out of the prison job and find something. Hopefully something you can do hustle on your own.
Well, don't you dare plan for your retirement, Tar Heel.
Because then you can make even more.
That's not what you're supposed to do.
And if you have deductions, you don't have to worry about, income. And then, of course, when you get to be a geezer like me.
Well, and of course, the supplement of the income, as we know, is either illegal, potentially government monies taken that, kind of a little bit more than maybe your business was really deserving and being qualified for. And then the opposite is that you churn out a bunch of YouTube slop that most of what you say is regurgitated from other people's channels, of which you don't even give people credit for. People want to say I'm a copycat, but at least I come out here with my face to my content and give commentary to this person who has suddenly, and has just been upping the review game. He's getting another e-bike, as he said, because that will net him. So he has to, technically, when he gets a product like that from YouTube, advertising a product, he's to includes paid promotion, which he has been doing. He then needs to find out what the fair market value of that product is. So he needs to go online and find out what it costs, $850, $800. And then he has to actually claim that on his taxes. And so if he claims it, he might end up paying, whatever in taxes on that, $50, $75, whatever the taxes he needs to pay on that item. And then I think there is something that if he sells it, he has to then account for the sale of that item as well. In the difference between that and the fair market value, and then pay taxes, I think, or something of that nature. But he basically has to do a bunch of stuff about it. It's not just as easy as he likes to say. So I hope he has a good accountant, because Tim's taxes are complicated.
All bets are off. You can make all you want. It doesn't matter. But who wants to make a lot of money? I don't care about amassing $1 million now.
That's not $1 million now. Because there was a time when he probably was getting his 6 figures and he could see all that. Because it's interesting that, his channel was doing super well. He was getting brand deals. He was getting a lot of buy me a coffees. He was traveled out west 3 times. I mean, you could see the heyday of Tim's channel. And then suddenly after that last trip out west, it just all started to came down. I think some of the facade and Tim's persona, I think a lot of his audience by that time had started to see through him. And then there's just this past year, it's just been a struggle bus for Tim. And then he's angry at everybody else, of course, so that he's going to have the rest of us struggle along with him. But obviously it's interesting because of obviously everything going on.
Make $1 million if I want it, but I'm not looking to go do that. Not now. Not now. For what? For what? It would take my life and all my time, and I could probably get sick, and everything else. So this life that I'm living, there's no other life I want. None. I get bored sometimes. Like, okay, I'm talking about traveling. Let's talk about that real quick before I go. Okay, let's talk about that. It's too hot. It's too cold. it's too expensive, too much gas. I haven't done the stuff I want. I got the dilemma with the trailer, with the motorcycle and the headlights, and it's too high up, and I can't load it, and I don't want to put it in the back of my truck. And I was going to take the camper, and I don't want to tear it up. Now,
I mean, we watch this just because we know this guy is just being wild. But his audience who watches this in all seriousness, who are these people that are still clinging on to this content? We know Bubba out there. But, really, I mean, we just watch it because obviously he just talks. I mean, are they also trying to figure out if he's ever going to do the things that he says he's going to do? Because the things he actually has going on in his life, he's never going to talk about.
I want to take it because I got to stay in something. I don't want to sleep in a tent. And that's what I was saying earlier in the video about all of the arrows coming at you that are all negative, that all want to talk you out of everything. And all you have to do is get quiet, breathe, turn everything off, stop scrolling, place it before God with prayer, petition, and thankfulness. Those three things. Pray specific prayers, not general. Help me. Name what it is that you need and want, or you're angst about. Petition him. And then be thankful before you end all your prayers of what you already have, of what he's already done for you. Show gratitude.
This is where Tim is taking his content to, guys. A couple of years ago, when I first started making commentary, he was going out west and playing golf and laughing at the golf club and having his best life ever by the casinos. Which usually, if you're raised Southern Baptist, you probably shouldn't be near a casino or inside a casinos, even if you aren't drinking. But Tim was out doing all of it. And now we got Tim just preaching and crusading and hallelujah and praise. I'm surprised the praise hands haven't come out. And I grew up in the church, so don't get me wrong, and this weekend is obviously very important within the Church of England calendar and the Episcopal calendar. This whole period of Lent and all, it's a big time in our Christian calendar. Not so much I understand for Southern Baptists, as Tim, I think, identifies as.
And if you do that, and then do the best you can as a man or a woman, right from wrong, you're going to see miracles.
You're like my mom.
Put me to the test. Just see if I don't open the windows and bless you more than you can handle. But we keep the windows closed. We don't believe it. We don't have faith. We don't pray. We don't read our Bibles. We don't even, like me, go to church. A lot of us. We're going to go Sunday because it's Easter. And we just put God in the whole key to life, the whole answer to life's instruction book. It's right here. Here's somebody told me one time when I was building something. I'll read the instructions. And that's what we do. It gets, the dust builds up on the Bible. It's under the shelf. It's on the coffee table down below. We drink. We pop pills. We smoke weed. We cuss. We watch CNN and Fox News and Housewives. And we gossip. And we watch crazy stuff on social media and scroll with Tic Tacs and all these things. And this is what we do. From the time you wake up, the time you go, you wonder why your life's a mess. You wonder why you're confused. You wonder why you feel anxious.
Is that your audience, really? I mean, yes, I have people joining me and they probably watch on the replay. I'm sure people are having lunch and doing stuff at the house and getting ready for the weekend, which is why I came out early. Probably a lot of it's a beautiful day. I'm sure people are going to go out and do stuff. So I said, let's just while people are eating lunch, let's go live. Lunch it live.
Worried. Or you wonder why you're alone or lonesome or what happened and what's going to happen to me.
God loves me. Spending money.
It can all be turned around. It can all be turned around. You don't believe that? Then keep being unbelievable. Keep having unbelief because you will get exactly what you think. You are a product of how you think. You can look at anybody around and you can tell.
I have a drink, but I don't think that necessarily always has to be the worst thing ever. Tim said he drank in like he drank, But so now he wants, he's like anybody who's reformed,
How they're thinking. I've said this before. Show me your garden and I'll tell you what you planted. Show me who your friends are and I'll tell you all about yourself. Show me what you watch on TV and I'll tell you how you think. I mean, it's very simple. No one is going to be perfect.
What in the arrogance is that? I'm sorry. That is just. He really is, thinks he's superior to everybody else. I don't know really. It's just, who really feels like, wow, I identify with that guy. I mean, he really just, it's just incredible. And I can't understand where it comes from. Because from everything that I've seen, it was all built on having profited from a time of really bad stuff, not understanding that you couldn't be eligible for monies and took them anyway, without speaking to an accountant, because you're generally too cheap to speak to a professional. You rather just supposedly do your research from all of these different platforms that you are now demonized. I mean, this is classic,
Not angels. We're never going to be angels. We're never going to be perfect. We're saved by grace. But man, come on. That was when you were a kid. College, drinking, partying, slandering, gossiping, cheating, promiscuity and all that. That was all when you were young. And you were growing. No excuse for it then.
I know. Hey, I promise you, I grew up in England. That Friday afternoons at the office in London was the start of the drinking, because you would go to the pub and get a pint, and it was not, you wouldn't lose your job if you came back smelling a beer. Pubs were like literally next to all these publishing houses in London that I worked at. And Friday afternoon, it was not unusual to pop in and enjoy a pint with your colleagues, and then to go back to work feeling a little bit happy and roll out the afternoon. And promise you, I had some notorious drunks that I worked for in that industry. Oh my goodness. Stuff that would not be acceptable here in the United States. Very different work culture, unless you're in government contracting. And then they'll enjoy a drink too, especially at a contracting event.
The Bible says when you were a child, you played with childish things.
My experience.
Grow up, it's time to put childish things away. You had milk when you were a baby. You don't drink milk.
Oh yeah, he's
as an adult.
projecting. Absolutely.
I know you're going to take that literally, but you really don't. But you're drinking nothing but sugar.
See, I had fun when I was younger, but I'm not going to make it out like, oh my God, that was the most demonic thing ever. Heck no, I had a great time. Would I be out at this time, at this age, wanting to be out and partying and having a good time and going to nightclubs and dancing and doing all the stuff I did in my 20s when I lived in London and Mexico? No. Not at all. The only time I'll crack out some dancing is maybe at somebody's wedding now. My likelihood of wanting to go to a nightclub and put a dance move out is very rare. Maybe last time was probably at my 50s, and then it was a wedding, The other, would I go dance at a concert? Probably. Do I go out and have a drink with a friend with dinner? Absolutely. Am I partying like I did when I was 20? No. Am I going to say I was a demonic so-and-so because I did it? No. I'm glad I had a good time.
It's time to grow up. It's time to face the music. It's time for the country to turn around. And that's another problem. We allowed the country.
Oh, I never was a cheater. I have to say that. That's one thing I never was. That's not me. I was just known to be very hospitable and definitely somebody who knew how to go to the best nightclubs and best restaurants and like dress up and have a really good time. I was more in that type of life, not the sort of honky bar scene that Tim probably was at. That was not my scene. Very expensive nightclubs.
Turn into what it is.
That's where I was
We
at.
allowed it because, hey, as long as I got mine, we turned a blind eye. We let everybody run roughshod over us. Nobody does anything.
No,
Until it happens to them.
I was at very nice nightclubs and stuff and places. That's where I hung out. The worst places I hung out with were in Virginia Beach.
And we made our bed. And now we're lying. So you've got your own life. You've made your own bed.
Yeah, like
Here
a
you are.
normal person.
Here's your little
like a
life.
normal
You know how big
person.
you are? I don't care how much you own. You know how big you are in the world? You're this. You're nothing. I'm like really nothing to most people that have a lot of stuff. But guess how big I am to God? As if I was the only one in the world. He loves me that much. He doesn't love me any less than he loves anybody else. If I search him, seek him, ask him to be in my life and to help me with life itself. And if you think you're too proud, that you don't need to
Oh, thank goodness he's coming to the end of this sermon. Listen to this sermon. He got a lot of views on it. I'm surprised he's not using the word Christ. I am surprised that people don't click off. I doubt the only person who's probably watching this all the whole way through is my poor sorry self in Mama Text. I don't even know if Angel Mission's been commenting lately.
ask anybody anything, or you can't cry, or you can't get on your knees, or you can't, and you let something happen to you. Let something happen to one of your family members, one of your children. Let something attack you, a disease, and the doctor tell you you're out of
Well,
it.
we never heard what happened to his grandson. That random story.
And then we'll see how proud you are. Because really, what is life? Life is health and relationship with God. Without that, what do you got? You got nothing. With that, you're crushing it.
Tim, gosh, what a bunch of nonsense. Sorry, that's the worst nonsense I've ever heard. You're just a regular parishioner. You don't go to church on holidays. I suffer from back pain. I can't stand in line with those crowds who only show up on special days. They are generally the worst times to go to church. Just hectic. A lot of people on show. I would agree. Generally not worth it, I would say. Where are we with the polls? I would agree. That's a comment I agree with. Do you believe Tim is actually attending church in person? 52% say no. No video, it didn't happen. 35%. He goes to church at the coffee bar. Or he goes to the coffee bar at church. Sorry, what was I reading there? Yes, why would he lie about that? 85 votes, guys. Let's try to get to 100 if we can. I don't know if we can because it's lunchtime. And it is Good Friday. And I think a lot of people are potentially busy today. In the UK, Good Friday would be the start of holiday season for Easter. I don't see, and then obviously the Bank Holiday Monday. We would also be off what was known as Easter Monday. And so usually it was something that we would look forward to the Easter weekend. Tim talks about changing his plans here. I was going to go back on this a little bit. Just because I did want to share this gentleman's comment real quick, and then we're going to give away some Life Vibe memberships. Okay, so this gentleman said, and this has been somebody who's a lot of times making commentary on Tim's channel, and surprisingly has not been blocked. You can't keep doing the same things and expect a different result. That's the rule in life. The first two keys to getting to 100K subs are 1, improve click-through rate. Focus on highly clickable thumbnails and headlines to attract viewers. You won't get new subs without them. It's mandatory for click-through rate and just a proven fact. Deliver value and engagement. Offer educational, entertaining, relatable content in every video. That's what I tried to do. This is your biggest issue. Or this is the biggest issue. Your usual content will not be pushed by the algorithm because people will be bored with it. Gotta travel, like you say. You will and actually visit tourist places. You mean you do the Loves and the Buckies and all of that are the tourist attractions that the people are dying to see? I mean, he could even make the series the best truck stops in America, but he's not even that creative. I'm just a mouth. I like to make commentary. Okay, but at least I know what I like to do. I like to stream and interact with people. That's the thing I like to do. Tim was... Oh my gosh, I just saw one of those squeakers on the floor for my dogs. I need to get that up before one of those swallows it. Sorry. Meet people at the tourist trap and interview them. Have some standard or funny questions running, or get your passport to go to the Philippines. Well, we have questions of whether Tim's eligible for passports. His passport eligibility is in question. And live like a king for a few weeks. You'll get tons of subs from that. You got to realize it's not about you. It's about what people want to see. That's right. And like I said, Tim, you need to realize that you're religious and, all this stuff, your reviews and stuff. I can't show that on my channel. It's boring. Gosh, we're a week away. You'll get tons of subs from that. I don't know about that. You got to realize it's not, that'd be some ace content for me to react to, though. We can find some other guys who live like that out there as kings. It's not about you. It's about what people want to see. Occasionally be the one in the same, but not all the time. If you don't want 100K subs, then continue doing you. But if you do, you got to change some things. Just keeping it real. Well, I think that was pretty good advice. And then Tim says, because, Tim's got, this is how we know that my motion to dismiss was truly from Sarasota Tim, because I got the sun emoji. Hey, fair point. Variety keeps things fresh, but here's the thing. I'm building this channel my way. I'm going to do a dramatic reading, everybody. Okay, just going to let you know. Not on someone else's wish list. Travel's coming when it fits. Not because a random commenter says so. And this is somebody who comments frequently on Tim's content. Not randomly. And commented on mine until I said, no, I don't really care what you say. If you're that hyped about seeing me in Manila, Venmo me the ticket. And I'll shout you out. Otherwise, stick around or don't. Your call. Sunglass emojis on sunglass emoji. Whatever that's supposed to be. And then Strider comes back and says, hey, I wonder if he'll ever comment again. Just some solid practical advice. Take it or leave it. Airfare costs $1,500 or so. Yeah, it's like 1 or 2 e-bikes, Tim. You make more than I do. Yeah, because Tim always says he's got plenty of money. And Strider understands analytics and understands Tim's channel. Now, somebody else got kind of snarky over at Miss Vicky's channel. I'm not even going to promote that person because that person's channel is terrible. Saying that this person, Strider, shouldn't give advice because he only has 11 subs and doesn't have a channel. But then these people don't know if these people have other channels, and this is just a account they use to make comments. Nobody knows. It's the internet. So you should be always careful. Anyway, he says, you make more than I do, laughing emoji. It's funny to see men using emojis. Just something to consider if you want subscribers. Heck, going anywhere else. Yeah, because the subscriber count's going down, guys, not going up. Heck, going anywhere outside the country would get you a bunch of more subscribers. Still need a passport, though. Maybe Tim should start a passport fund. What do you think, guys? He can't take any criticism. He just says no. Well, come on in, Dennis. Come on in. Yes, true colors. This guy is like somebody who actually watches. You know what? You could just say, that's a great point. I appreciate the suggestion. Thank you. That's it. But Tim is getting really like snidey there. What the snide, and for being out here trying to talk about, Christianity and how he's got God in his heart, how Jesus tells him his plans, and he's not afraid to talk about the fact that he has a relationship with Christ. And none of that is seen in what that response was. Not to me. Not to somebody who actually takes the time to have engagement and watch his content and actually make that monetized nonsense that I just gave you some dollars premium for, Tim. That person gave him money in some way. That's why I appreciate you guys. And because of that, I'm going to give away some Life and Vibe memberships right now because it's a happy Easter. We're at 89 votes, and when we get to 100, we'll shut this poll, and then we'll make a poll whether or not Tim's going to ever stick the KLX on the back of the truck, because somebody recommended that I should do that for a poll. And even though I forgot your name, I thank you for that recommendation. So get me to 100 votes on this one little poll. All right, I'm going to give away, because it is April, I am actually going to give away some Life and Vibe memberships. Because I want to match what D.H. Shelly Shell gave, and I want to thank you all for just being awesome. So we'll see. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to send. All right, hold on. I'm supposed to be able to give some memberships. Hold on. Why am I not being able to give? Hold on. Maybe I'm too soon. All right. Well, how can I send them? Well, how do I do it? Maybe I have to end the poll. I don't know. I'm supposed to be able to give them. It says I have 10 memberships left to send this month. Terms apply. Close. Free of charge each month. I know. Well, that's what I thought. All right, guys. Let me figure this out and find another Tim chat. I don't know why my stuff not working. I might have to go to YouTube. I don't know why my stuff not working. It's supposed to be able to give away my memberships. Okay. All right, Tim. I don't know if it's because I have a poll running, so maybe I have to stop the poll. So get me to 100 so I can, on the poll, so I can maybe give away some memberships. You got 90. Just need 10 more votes so I can potentially give away my my memberships. I don't know why why it's not working. Let me see what's going on. Okay. I don't usually have that issue. Okay. All right, Tim. This is an interesting one. Back to the religious talk. He's been out on the beach all day. We've got some retirement life. What a life. Beautiful Coquina Beach. We're just getting Coquina. He went to McDonald's and once again did not decide to tip the people who work at McDonald's. I don't think that's ever happened. And then he decided to talk about Good Friday. He talks about change of plans, this KLX. He puts these things like change of plans, and these are just clickbaits right here. He's had no plan changes. It's nothing. Oh, goodness. Now we get to have Tim like showing us the worst Flagstaff ever created. Let me put, 1.5. Oh my goodness. This is where we get to start. This is a man who's just look at, what is the image here? What is this? God.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim.
Pitiful.
Welcome to the master bedroom in my beautiful Flagstaff 2024 model. And it is the 25 FKBS. That stands for front kitchen bed slide. This is a huge bedroom with a full length mirror, a complete double closet that gives you all the room you could possibly want that none of these RVs that you walk into have. Full length mirror. And just check out this this space right here. Hang on. We're gonna go in the kitchen in a minute. I know it's kind of a weird place to start. Look at this area at the end of the bed. You get out of this big bed, it goes way back. You've got all this area to get into drawers and your closet and put your pants on, your socks on, and sit down, tie your shoes. All the RVs I've ever been in, most of them, this part right here, the bed, comes to right here. You've got to,
All right. Tim never gives anything, but I did just give 5 Life and Vibe memberships. So give me, a little bit of an applause for that. I finally figured out. I don't know why it wasn't working on StreamYard. Or my Nightbot. It just was not. But you did get 5. Let me see who got those. Who received them? Tanya Kristen Berry, VJ, 1976, Scooters Adventures, CM, FW6HC. They all received memberships, so thank you. And aren't we excited to see the Flagstaff and all its glory? The TV here, I guess it turns out because I try to figure out how I guess it turns because that's a weird angle. This thing is built like cardboard. Don't be fooled, guys. All this looks nice. I mean, the way he lives in it full time, this can't last. See, he was already complaining the other day. Yes, that's my dogs waking up and having a puppy dog fight. I took him to the dog park today. It's just never enough.
it's just amazing how
I'm gonna
beautiful
take him to the park after
and
this.
how
Run
comfortable. I had the best night's sleep. I know
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
run them after this.
but I came out this morning. I had
the
some coffee,
doggies are
and
wrestling.
I was taking my thoughts, saying my prayers, doing everything. I woke up, I popped my eyes open. I said, I need to get up. And I said, no, I need to go back to bed. And it was nice and cool. I had the air conditioning really cranking. And I got back in bed, and those blankets, I don't know what it was this morning. I mean, my bed is always comfortable. I've got a memory foam on it, but it was extra cozy this morning. I just felt good. I guess my mind was more relaxed. Today is Good Friday. We're going to be talking about that. I've got my ironing board here. I was ironing some things.
I grew up in the church, and there's only one thing I want to say when I hear Tim being all like that, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
He's like the fish you should not be eating on Good Friday. And for that, I'm going to change another one of my banners. If you do want to help me get breakfast next week, And the week after, then please be my guest. We always appreciate it. And for the wrestling puppies too, for Pitbull Rescue, because that's pretty much what I do, rescue pit bulls. And I appreciate it, guys. Hey, I got to throw in, Tim's going to dry bag. Why not me?
I'm a good ironer. Here's my iron. I got a high dollar iron. I bought this. Look at all the millions of holes. Not millions, but this was this is called a chi iron. And this is a commercial grade. This is not your standard $10 iron. This is almost $100. I think I gave, why is it wet there? Works awesome. All kinds of heat levels and things. And I iron things all the time. I've always ironed. When I was in the car business years ago, I would iron all my dress shirts because I didn't want to have to pay a dry cleaner. So I already made a pot of coffee. You don't even have to wait for it. Let's have us a cup. Let's put our watch on this morning. 7 o'clock, straight up. Maybe a minute past. Let's give it a little wind. What's this? Take eye drops. I already did. Okay. Folks.
I know. It's a very spacious wardrobe. And Tim has got he's such a minimalist. It's just not spilling out either. Oh my goodness. Tim.
I know what it is. I feel pretty good today. Feeling really good. Gonna go to church tonight. Good Friday. They got some kind of a service. Gonna definitely check that out. And
yes.
I was kind of reading the Bible and having the Bible read to me actually, and I was listening to Grok.
I feel, I mean, it is Good Friday, but seriously, Tim, it's this Mama Tex gets upset if people aren't on board with this. He's got some hardcore. Bubba will put something about Gulf of America in the chat or something. He don't care.
I had questions. I get curious about things, and I just ask this AI guy all the time, and they got the answers. I mean, they're not always accurate, like with directions and things, but they got a lot of smarts about stuff that's very impressive of how you can use it. Like if you've never known something and you're watching or reading something, even a movie, you say, where was that video? Where was that video at? I mean, how old were they in that? I mean, you can, anything that comes into your mind that you want to know, you can ask it. And I got questions. I ask questions all the time. Why, when, where? Curious minds. All right, let's pour some of this Dunkin's St. Louis Scott coffee. Oh, look at that gold, baby. For sure. Fill it to the rim with brim. Let's try it out. Look at the color. Oh, yeah. Really good color. That's what I'm talking about. Heavy whipping cream, baby. That's what you got to put in your coffee. You don't need sugar. You don't need hazelnut, strawberries, raspberries, cinnamon bun.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
You get a dry bag from St. Louis Scott all the time. Hasn't talked about getting coffee donations lately, except for that big old canister. Sorry, yes, guys. I had to sort something out. It disappeared for a second.
Folks, that is the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. And that's good coffee. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. That's good coffee. That heavy whipping cream, man, makes it good. Well, we're going to get out and get in the truck.
That's the only thing that Bubba ever says in his comment section. Because he's just a irritating troll.
And go somewhere in just a minute. We're going to make a whole video in here.
Goodness me. Dark outside.
Stop, get another cup of coffee somewhere. Let's see what's going on out here.
I thought, this is what I don't understand. He says it's 7 a.m., but look at it's pitch black out there. How's it pitch black at 7 a.m. in Florida in the morning? Didn't he say it was 7 a.m.? Why is it pitch black? I know he'll be outside, but it just looks pitch black out there.
Oh yeah, it's that time of morning. Let's go out here and check it out.
All right, that's a little better.
Yeah. Okay. It's warm.
All right, it seems a little bit, but still seems dark for 7.
It's warm.
7 Greenwich Mean Time.
I was thinking about it the other day. I need to put my griddle. I guess it is a Suburban. I got to put it away in the RV. I put it back out here and make some bacon and eggs. A nice little breeze. Feels a little cool. When I came out, it was a little humid. Friday, Good Friday. And what is Good Friday? Good Friday is a somber day, a day of quietness, a day of reflection. Yesterday, Thursday, back in the Bible days, when Jesus was alive, it was the Last Supper. And then after the Last Supper with the disciples, the Roman soldiers showed up with Judas Iscariot.
Oh, gosh. Judas Iscariot, Tim of all people. Sorry, I was trying to get the dogs to relax. After this, I'm definitely going to have to give him a little bit more time outside. Oh, Tim, this is just, I mean, here he is stood in front of the spoils of $58,400 of EIDL money and talking about Judas Iscariot and a bunch of other stuff. He's absolutely off his rocker, in my opinion.
And he told the soldiers that the one I go and give a kiss to will be the one that you want to arrest.
Hey, Angel
So
of Brass, good to see you.
Up.
Happy Easter.
And Jesus knew already that he was a turncoat. And he says, go ahead and do what you got to do so the scriptures could be filled. And then the soldiers, went to arrest him. But then Peter.
Oh, he said the iron was 100 and it's 58. Well, he's got to try to hopefully get people to send him $100 for an iron. He wants at least, 20 buy me a coffees.
He took out a sword and he sliced one of the ears off of one of the Roman soldiers. And Jesus picked it up and put it back on and healed him and told Peter to get behind him because he's interfering with what is to be fulfilled. And he's going to go to the cross. And he was talking at the Last Supper about how that they will Peter will deny him 3 times before the rooster crows. And that all the other disciples, they're like, oh, we're going to stick with you no matter what. They all scattered like cockroaches. They took him in and dragged him to Pontius Pilate, I think, beating him, spitting on him, humiliating him. And then he sent him over.
This is what Tim woke up and gave his subscribers this morning as the Good Friday gift. Last year was a black eye. This year it's a preachy sermon from the slab in Bradenton, where Tim tells everybody else how good he is and how everybody else is scum.
Pilate and Herod, were enemies. And then they were playing politics with this guy, Jesus. And neither one of them wanted to be the one. So he sent him over to Herod. And Herod, he didn't even speak to Herod. Jesus he just ignored him. Herod dressed him in a robe and said, you're the king of the Jews, and sent him back to Pilate. And then Pilate granted the Jews' wish to crucify him. They said, we can't crucify under the Roman law. They can't kill anybody. They weren't even allowed to stone anybody anymore. It had all be done by Roman power over them.
I know. Well,
and they were jealous of him.
That's why we just do it all together as a group hug and laugh about the use of religion as it's almost mockery, because we understand really at the end of the day who Tim is. And it's just something that I think that we need to it's just tiring to see so many people just not take accountability and then use religion as their shield and literally spiritually gaslight people like, oh, no, I'm now this just good Christian. I don't need to be accountable for anything I ever done. It's everybody else's fault. I'm better than everybody else. I'm going to talk about Judas and Paul being single and stand in front of my ill-gotten gains of government money and so forth. It's the hypocrisy on this is just outstanding. And then on the other hand, he's talking about, dropping his Prime membership. I guess he wants, he's dry begging them off. But he's so dishonest with his audience too, as we know.
They were extremely jealous. The
Pharisees
jealous. And the Sadducees and all these guys that adorned themselves in big robes and got up on their soapboxes and act like they were so holy and said all these things to the Jewish people that they were all that in a box of chocolates. And Jesus.
Debbie, we'll get that at the end. Debbie has just found that Tim is selling the bike carrier. So I guess the decision to carry it into the back of the truck has been made. This is what just absolutely irritates me with somebody such as Tim. He has not shown us once, and we'll look at the McDonald's one on the way out, that he's tipped the people at McDonald's ever, not even on Good Friday. And then on top of that, he is somebody who is spending money like a water fountain on that motorcycle escapade that he went through between the Gold Wing and the KLX and the carriers and the clothes and the this and the that and the other. It's just amazing. And who knows if for Tim, if he didn't buy all this stuff on credit cards and then turns it into cash, in order not to not touch his cash. Because he said he got a bunch of credit cards recently. I just, because Tim don't mind probably running up a credit card. He's already done it for his teeth. And then he talks about being debt free. And then he talks about being a Christian. And then he lies constantly to his subscribers. And he lies about what's happening next Friday because he won't, admit to anything. Tells everyone else the devil.
Told them how they were hypocrites. And so they were
that's what I got to say. That's my soapbox.
If we don't get rid of this guy, our magic trick's going to be exposed. And so they hated him. And what he went through that night before today, Good Friday, by that morning at 9 a.m., he was dragging his cross with thorn of crowns stuck in his head, beaten with whips that had bones on the end of them, tearing his flesh. And then the story goes, Simon from...
Oh, he would love to buy me a paragraph. Oh, Tim would love to think that he could ever start a church and have that be the money. Because he's, the easiest work possible. Christian grift. Christian grifting.
Somewhere, Simon... he was just a bystander. Walking by,
thou shalt return.
And forced him to help Jesus carry
his
his
cross.
cross.
That is the 11th commandment, David. Thou shalt returneth. Stuff to Walmart.
And he did. He wasn't beaten or anything as he was carrying the cross, but they hung him up there.
Yep.
We got the
He's
name
a good man, though, Ann.
place. I think it begins with a G. It's about 600 yards away or less than a half a mile.
Because it's, if something were to come out that he's not a good person in the next few weeks, then how can that be possible? Because he's this awesome Christian. Everyone else, the devil. It's a good Christian man right there, everyone. You know what? I say to that, Tim, I don't think that's the case. I don't really think that's the case. I say,
I can't even get erect.
I say.
They made him carry this cross. When Pilate sent Jesus to Herod the night before to put it off on him, he was in town. It was literally in the same palace or something, so it wasn't that far. I was wondering, how did in one evening after he went to the
Tim, last year we were trying to figure out how to get free food from Teddy and Jolene while still talking about the carnivore diet, and somebody smacked you in the eye. And we're trying to figure out, because you were talking about preacher seats. Of all things, last Easter, the preaching you were doing is supposedly preacher seats into a pool. And with your diabolical crushing it for Christ after Tammy talked about shoving somebody's drink in their face. I mean, you're just, Tim, calm it down. Seriously. It's just tiring to see the Christian grift. Like, I'm never accountable because I'm a Christian. Oh, Jesus, that should make you the most accountable.
Gethsemane and prayed while the disciples slept and sweat blood.
Yeah, I came with him.
Knowing that, what was coming. He knew what was going to happen.
It's the Easter weekend.
But as a human,
we're going to be traveling.
He wasn't excited about it. And,
other people go, I started to, I'm not traveling, obviously, because I have dogs at the house. I don't know if I'll ever travel again. Unless it's for work. It's just what happens when you get a lot of dogs. It's suddenly because they're not the easiest dogs to take care of either, Anyway, Tim is not traveling for Easter, and he doesn't have the same handicaps of having to take care of dogs that I have. And he certainly talks about it all the time. And he's certainly, but now he's waiting for a new e-bike to be delivered. So he can't obviously hustle himself out of town. Every time he needs to leave, he's ordered something that prevents him from actually having the ability to move out of his slab. So it's amazing how his purchasing habits prevent him from actually having any fun.
But anyway, Herod was in that same palace or in the same area. That's how he was ping pong back and forth. But anyway, when he got to the cross, up to where they crucified him, it was 9 a.m, and by 3 p.m, he was dead. After they continued to torture him and drive nails in his feet and his wrists and mocked and scoffed him. And,
yeah, that's
if
right.
You just imagine the cruelty, the hatred that this person could still.
That's right. Everybody else had gifts and stuff. And it was just like he showed up at Christmas, empty handed and with nothing going on. Never shows up. I think last time, because he showed up empty-handed on this one, I think he showed up with the toilet paper at Christmas. Because maybe he did actually stay at theirs, actually at that Easter time. Thank you, Gen X. At that Easter time. And he, ended up, remember, he brought toilet paper for Christmas because he's such a generous soul. And he gave Miss Raffaella half a cake, if that, like slices of cakes. Because he can't even think to buy 2 big cakes, which he does and has made plenty of money from his YouTube channel. He just can't part with it. He can't part with his money to anybody else but himself. He literally has no generosity of spirit. And I think the reason why he doesn't pay it in forward at McDonald's is because there's a tax write-off in that. It's the only reason why. He does nothing. It's just why this is such a joke. I am saying that this man, his ability to have any type of true Christian compassion or any actual acts of Christianity are 0 to 0. He's just all hot air and BS.
Do this for them, not just you and me.
Yeah, hit the like for that, man, for that one.
How could someone want to die for them after doing that to you, right?
Nothing.
People do a lot less to me, and I don't wish the best for them. People cut you off in traffic, and you don't wish the best for them. We lose it. We don't say, "Oh, forgive them. They don't know what they do." We say, "Punish them." But God, yeah, He loved us so much that He gave His only begotten Son to go to the cross. Because before that, they were using animals like lambs and shedding the blood. But blood had to be shed for redemption, for forgiveness, and Jesus was the lamb.
Tim is a Southern Baptist. He does not probably celebrate the Lenten season. So he wouldn't have done anything after.
He was born and lived as a man, as a human, and enduring all the same things and feelings that we do. So he would understand. And then when he got to be 30 years old, he was baptized. And then his ministry started. And for 3 years, he traveled around, healing the sick, performing miracles, giving parables and teaching people and instructing the disciples of how to continue his ministry. And then he told them, that Thursday before Good Friday, the Last Supper, that his time has come, that he will go away in a place that they don't know, but a helper will come. The Holy Spirit.
Can't put that out there, Scott.
And so the story is very interesting about
he is.
Easter and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And people, like with Christmas and things, they get tied up about the holiday.
Yeah, okay, Tim. You got tied up about the fact that you want your subscribers to send you a ton of buy me a coffee money, and it didn't happen this year. And you didn't open up a P.O. box because you didn't think you were going to get a bunch of stuff you wanted. Don't care for the fruitcake.
Jelly beans, Easter eggs, baskets, and things like that. Most people do go to church and realize what it is. He is risen.
He's not giving a dime.
But until it's brought into our minds, it's right here. Like
Tim's not giving a dime. That's why he's skirting around different churches if he's going at all. Oh yeah, where are we with the giveaway? We get to 100. Yay! Let me end the poll. Hold on. Okay. All right, because we're going to have a new poll. Do you believe Tim is actually attending church in person? No. No video. It didn't happen at 54%. Second is he goes to the coffee bar at church, 31%. They better have some heavy whipping cream there. Otherwise, it's just no good. And yes, why would he lie about that at 15%? Thank you all 114 of you who took the time to participate. While Tim keeps chatting, I'm going to set up a new poll about whether he's ever going to put the KLX in the back of this truck.
This is the story. This is what happened. And when you just visualize what he went through and how he was tempted like the rest of us for 40 days with no food. And the enemy, the devil, came to him and said, "Oh, just turn these rocks into bread if you're hungry." When he was so tempted and so hungry, throw yourself off this cliff. And it says that the Father will not let your feet be bruised, that he will save you if you're the Son of God. And then finally, he gave him one thing. All he had to do was just bow down and worship me, the enemy, the devil. And all of this world I will give you, because the devil does own this world. This is the devil's dominion, and no one can deny that. But heavenly angels and God that's within us in our hearts are because Jesus went to the cross and he was a savior. And now the dirty, rotten scoundrels, no better than the devil himself that we were before the crucifixion, we can look upon God.
I just sent out a poll. I made it real fast. I just said, is Tim, we're going to just put this easy. Will Tim put the KLX in the truck bed? Yes. No, only if he can travel. I left that dubious one there. Sir Fall, thank you, all of you. 67% say no. 25% say only if he can travel. And at 8%, yes. He's, because we know that the, it's for sale now. The hitch. So the front trailer hitch is for sale. We'll be showing that in a minute. I wonder how much he's selling it for. I guess they wouldn't take it back at the shop. How much stuff has he been getting? I mean, just think about it. And then he complained about his Amazon Prime having to be canceled. Oh, boo-hoo. After he just wastes money on the most ridiculous Do you see him wanting to give $600 for his grandkid to have fun at spring break or something? Just the most selfish SOB I think I've ever seen in my life.
Now,
just horrendous.
Even in our sin, as a forgiven sin through grace, and ask him anything we want. And he hears us, and he gives us anything that we ask, if it be his will, if it's good for us. He doesn't give you $1 million. But all of your problems, your concerns, health issues, whatever you're going through in life, and there's plenty of things. I've gone through some things in my life, and even recently, and I'm sure a lot of you have, that still can break you down. And then we just have to remember, all we have to do is like, look, I am a child of God. I have been redeemed. I am holy because he is holy. He has made me whole. He didn't do that for nothing. And so now I can look upon him who's at the right hand of God in heaven. I can ask the Holy Spirit, the third person of God that came after Jesus went back, that resides in our hearts if we've invited Christ into our life. And I can talk to him, to Jesus, and to God, which are all the same person, together, as if it's my own God. Even though he can talk to everybody else at the same time, because he's not omnipotent, you have God in you. And this is the day you need to remember that whatever you're facing, whatever trials you got going on, why do we borrow from tomorrow's worries?
Just cannot. Canceled him for too many returns. Do you think that's why he lost his Prime? Because he said he canceled his Prime account. Sorry, I was trying to get this his new sales things up. You know,
when today has enough of its own.
So I'm trying to turn
why do we keep spinning our tail and concerning ourselves? And I'm guilty of it too, about things that haven't even happened yet. When he already knows before you were born who you are, what you're going to be, what you're going to have, what he's going to do in your life. So have that confidence today that you can pray to him in audible words, silent, taking a walk, laying down, on your knees, in church, out of church, sitting at the beach, driving your car. You can always, always talk to God. And if you have things going on in here and in here, he says, bring them to me. Lay them at my feet. I want you to be loved and feel like you have joy and happiness. I don't want you to walk around concerned and worry and stressed, giving you bad health, causing you to age prematurely, think about things that are never going to happen. That's the enemy. That's the world we're in. It's a battle between flesh and spirit.
Tim, the king of taking accountability, everybody. He is just, I know, this guy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Sorry, I was taking a sip off camera. Yes, he does stink. He really does stink. Sorry, I'm getting this in. Hopefully this email. There we go. All right. I gotta try to get this somehow seen. Hold on, let me see if I can bring this up. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring this image up. This is all the stuff that Tim currently has for sale. Let me see. Can I bring it in? No, hold on. Let me work on this. Okay, keep going, Tim. I work on this file.
We'll talk all about that. And believe me, I believe the more you try to get a hold of your spirit and talk to God, and that's when the devil gets a memo. He gets an email. Hey, we got one that's trying to break free. One of our slaves that we've dominated in their mind. We had them so worried and stressed and concerned. We got one that's trying to swim upriver, that's reading their Bible, that's praying to God. We might lose one. He don't want to lose any either. He wants everyone to be in the hell that he's going to be in, of gnashing of teeth forever, for eternity. He doesn't want to be there alone. He wants you to join him. Misery loves company. But God says there'll be a new heaven, a new earth. There'll be many mansions in my place. If it wasn't so, I wouldn't have told you that. And he cannot lie. And so we live in this earth. We live in this humanly tent.
Oh my goodness. He is just on a roll, guys. This sounds like the stuff that my cousins grew up with in the church. I mean, he just on a roll. Strict about repeat returners. Yeah, we'll go back to, he did say that he's canceled his Prime because he just couldn't afford it anymore. Keep going, Tim.
And we have a heart and we have a soul and our mind.
I hope you
And
all
that's who
feel
we
like
are.
you're getting
It's
ready
not-
for your.
it's flesh and blood.
Imagine
It's
it's
the
7 in the.
inside and the
Can
newness.
you imagine it's 7 o'clock in the morning? Okay, you're in your RV, and outside you have this guy. Because I know a voice can carry across places. Okay, because I live in condos, and you have this guy stood out there every morning. That was a really good point. Thank you for sharing that. Talking and preaching a sermon to a camera. Talking this nonsense for 30 minutes. Can you imagine? I just couldn't. I mean, I promise you, he's lucky he's not mine. Is that from the Amazon website? Which says, can you imagine that? We're going to go back and listen to this part where he talks about not having Prime anymore. If customers are found to misuse the return policy by excessively returning or canceling or not accepting the orders placed, Amazon reserves the right to warn, suspend, block, and or terminate. I think Walmart feels the same way about returns too. Yeah. He's told, well, we know that. You've maybe returned 7 items. I tried to return one item once, and they said it was such a small amount of money, just keep it, and they'd send me a new one because it was faulty or something. I don't shop at Amazon. I'm somebody who just, if I'm going to go, I just like to go to the store and pick stuff up. Unless it's something really like specialty. No, I just go to the store.
The renewing of your mind, your new reborn self. When you asked Jesus into your life, and you became a newborn Christian, that you can live the rest of your days.
Yeah, I know.
And you can live in this world that is evil,
Right.
that the devil owns. And you won't
That's
even see it.
like, I'm the best Christian ever. He complains about the blowers and people working and other people trying to get to their jobs and this, that, and the other. Just the most selfish, entitled, arrogant SOB I've ever come across in my life. And to think that he thinks that this is what is appealing and that everybody is going to be like, God, I need to subscribe and sign up for this guy because this is somebody I feel like I want to get to 100K subscribers. I want to show my support for this guy. He is, the best representation of humanity. He's such a good Christian.
He can flee from it. Put on the breastplate of armor. And now you control your destiny with God. You control your path. And you don't let those things affect you. It's just like finding out when God basically says, this is a good analogy. The biggest magic trick you ever heard in your life, you ever seen in your life. And the magician says, you know what? I'm going to tell you how I do it. And he shows you. And it could be the most impressive magic trick you've ever seen. But as soon as he shows you the trick and you see it smoke and mirrors, you can never be fooled again. And so God's word, the Bible, basically tells you all of these things over and over and over, every chapter, every verse, throughout the whole 66 books. He's basically revealing, I am the truth, I am the life. And these other things are phony. And they have no power, no real power. I didn't create you as a person of fear. I made you for love. And as soon as you stop believing in the magic trick, stop believing in the enemy. And
just don't think this is going to be helpful. Do you know what I mean? If he thinks this is something this just makes me laugh hard. Promise you, I grew up in the UK. This is wild to somebody who grew up in England. I have a deeper understanding because I do have family here in the United States and family who follows this type of religious ideology. But if this is, where Tim is headed to, this is just, it's just classic too. It just takes no accountability. Absolutely zero. He's done some really, just nothing. And he's so selfish. It's all about, for his own gain. Not seen him do one really good thing with that channel. Really good. That paying it forward is just a bunch of tax write-off bullshit. Pardon my French. Good Friday, I know.
recognize it when it comes into your life and it hits you. You build up, he builds you up, you get thick skin, you get sharper mind.
Oh, they are.
You can tell others, like I'm trying to tell you, that it's been a fallacy. It's been a phony
every
baloney.
single
It's
video.
like the media. You found out. It's all about you just getting them to watch and to divide and conquer and to lie and to
I just know who he's just like, this is like, what is he going off? After this, I just don't think I can take much more of it. I mean, obviously, I know it's Easter and stuff, so we can talk about the topics around just the use of religions, it's just gotten out of control because he's being held to a standard and he thinks he shouldn't be. He thinks he's better than everybody else. This guy thinks he's better than all of us.
with a thread of truth, with no truth even today. It's such crap. And the devil's the same way.
Yeah.
He has no real power. You have more power. You've got God. Who's stronger, God or the devil?
Half the time I'm tuning him out and reading the chat too, because he's just like, this is just like, this is a person, if we just go back a little bit ago and we'll take a look at a moment, talking about haters. We'll show some of his hater talk. Why not?
Right? So you're on the winning team if you've given your life to Christ. And so what do you need to do? Well, you need to clean up your act.
Yeah.
You need to catch yourself when you start falling into sin, saying things, doing things, watching things, believing things, forgetting God, backsliding,
Tim, I don't think you're somebody who just he looks like he's not sleeping well. I look like I'm sleeping great.
You know what? He always continually forgives you. You can always come back to him.
Great. Yeah.
You gotta catch yourself. You gotta
Well,
work
if we
yourself.
saw him send Johnny Vegas back,
It is a job.
if he sent Johnny Vegas back his golf clubs, maybe we would believe that he's had some sort of moment of redemption. But since he just carries on his same old BS and his same selfish ways, I don't think anyone's going to think that this man's got any change. Same old, same old. It's just fun to, it's get tiring, Tim. I mean, he doesn't say it. And then I'm sure his watch time is terrible. I'm surprised he got 4,000 views on some of his recent garbage. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked.
That you have to do.
I am shocked.
You have to teach your children this. If you're married, you have to be evenly yoked. You both can't live under the same roof. One believes in the devil and one believes in God. And basically, if you don't believe in God, then I don't know, maybe it doesn't make you a devil.
He did.
It does tell me that you're lost.
He sells someone's golf clubs. I mean, he's like stood in front. Let's just talked about being Christ. Well, he's got the golf clubs right there in his thing, and he thinks they were given to him. He don't care. He's really he's done really bad
you're
stuff.
a lost soul. The Bible says that there's only one way to heaven, and that's through Christ. It'd be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a man to get into heaven. And it's a simple prayer. And then you don't have to give your money. You don't have to do special works. You don't have to fast. You don't have to get on a soapbox. You don't have to walk around with certain clothing. You don't have to wear certain things. You don't have to go out and do anything to impress anybody. You can do these things if they mean well. But all you have to do is have it in here. Just believe it in here. And then let your actions and your words, your tongue. It's like a rudder of a mighty ship.
Oh my
a small
God.
piece of the ship can move.
Tim preaching from the Bradenton slab. Just preaching while he stands in front of ill-gotten assets. Just the hypocrisy of this picture is just everything you need to see. Just this is the biggest bullshit hypocrisy on the internet. More people hit the likes, guys, so more people can find out that this guy is just an absolute charlatan. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Big, mighty ships. The tongue. What comes out of the mouth?
She's come back.
And
Talking
it
about
talks
marriage.
about how, look at a spark can create a huge forest fire.
It's a hip.
So the tongue is something you got to tame.
Cherry.
Tame that tongue. Control your thoughts.
Okay.
Feed your soul.
Because I'm not supposed to gossip and talk about him, because he's absolutely perfect. No, I'm going to talk and gossip about you.
Read the word. Stay on your knees. Keep praying to God, because the minute you stop oiling your truck, your wheels and your camper,
Right,
the minute
he's
you
a
stop doing
deadbeat dad.
maintenance to
That
anything,
for sure.
if left long enough without doing it, it's going to be a problem. It's a problem. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. And your life can be so good if you wake up each day, take your medicine, read that word, feed your soul. It's like food. He says, man cannot live by bread alone. And this food, when he did the Last Supper, he said, this bread is my body. And when
I don't know. Timmy doesn't look like he's sleeping well.
drank the wine, this is the blood, my blood.
Maybe that
And you
mattress
have to
isn't so
have your
good.
daily bread
Maybe that foam mattress is old and needs to be replaced.
every day. That's reading the Bible. That's talking to him. And with that, you're going to be crushing it.
No, you're not, Tim. That's so not true. Okay. Let's see what Timmy's got on Facebook, guys. Let's see what's Friday for sale. All right. We got this. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing this. The latest Facebook for sale. Here we go. All right. I'm going to take a look at this. So up here, we still have that gazebo that he got. That gazebo he nearly set on fire. It's still listed for $135. And the gifted RV battery. Obviously, that's the gift that could give him $250 from his subscribers. Can't wait for that one. And now we've got the Black Widow 600-pound motorcycle carrier, obviously being shown as a back hitch rider rather than a front hitch rider. And that's being sold for $200. Look at that. How much is, Timmy's got a full-on side hustle over here. Buying his stuff. Yeah, maybe. I can't talk about that. Judge Judy tears him up. I don't know who the judge is going to be. You type that on your desktop and your phone. Yeah. He's looking at his religious attempts for views snake handling while speaking in tongues and setting up a tent on the slab to shares. Well, you know what? I actually think that he shouldn't be selling that gazebo. I think that he should use that as the start of his church, and he can start starting his fellowship out of the gazebo on the Bradenton slab, and he could start inviting some of his neighbors over to listen to him preach the good word of Christ in the morning, and he could start listing himself as a he could get some tax exempt status. Maybe that's why he started preaching. Do you think that's why Timmy started preaching? Because he wants to be part of a tax exempt status, that he is a religious organization and therefore he no longer has to pay taxes because he's preaching the word of God. Trampy is so glad she got out of this. You don't think Trampy wants to be sitting there looking like Tammy Faye Baker? I did actually do a video where Tim is, I allude that Tim and Tammy are like Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. If you want to go and check that video out. And it shows Tim being super, super Christian and running around and in and out of casinos, which usually is not where you would find somebody who is part of the religion. All right, let's get over to see if Tim put out anything interesting, and then I will let you guys go. So exciting to see you early on a Friday, and then I'm going to get out and take these dogs for a walk and a wash and all this other good stuff. So this seems to be Tim's current pattern. Let me come over. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing that. And if you want to have a trailer hitch for your so is he going to put that KLX? Sorry, in there. We got that. 42 votes. Will Tim put the KLX in the truck bed? Well, we now know we've got the hitch on sale. So we have 67% say no. He's still not going to put it back there. How's he going to go off and ride in the desert and do all the things that he said he's going to show his audience? 12% say yes, and 21% only if he can travel. He talks a lot about travel. And he's been talking about travel for about 6 months now. Last travel we had was the attempt to travel on the Honda Goldwing he did get down to Key West. He stayed a night in a bad primitive campsite, got upset, hightailed it over to Teddy and Jolene's, and then he finished out that actual journey with having got a nail in the tire on the way home, of which then the Goldwing, not long after that, went on sale. Yes, it did. It did. All right. I'm going to remove this. Thank you for sharing that, Debbie. All right. So what else did Tim share with his audience today? Oh, the McDonald's. Let's have a look. So this actually 4.1 views on the KLX and talking about that. And we know that obviously he's not going to use the hitch. We see the hitch for sale. What even is the point of this? That evening chat, I'm surprised it got as many. Good Friday. Obviously, people are busy for Easter, so I appreciate you being here today, guys. Morning chat, Good Friday. We listened to that. Except at the very beginning. Is this the evening chat where he talks about his prime? Let's do that real quick.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Teal, coming to you from inside my beautiful home. It is a RV, and it's a Flagstaff make and model.
Yes, 2 bike
It is
carriers.
the 25 FKBS. I love it. It is all I need.
Does he have 2 now? Gosh, he's just spending money left, right, and center then if that's a second one.
And that's going to be the talking point in tonight's evening chat. But before we get started, let's first
for the
get some coffee
e-bike?
going. Let's get hopped up.
Why is he selling one if he's supposedly already getting an e-bike in? That doesn't make any sense. Well, thank you for clarifying, guys. That doesn't make any sense that I can't even keep up with all the stuff he buys. And that makes sense. I remember vaguely something about that. The thing that makes it interesting is he says he's getting an e-bike in. So why would he be not keeping that trailer hitch till he films the e-bike? I wonder if the other one could even be sold since it was so custom made. All right, Tim, just talk about how cheap you're going to be, and then I have to get going because my dogs want to take a walk.
It is 10 minutes till 8 on a Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever the day is, I don't know. I've got a battery here that came out of my motorcycle, and I've got some lights that I ordered to use to help me see in front of the truck I have when I put my motorcycle up there, because it could be obstructing my headlights to a degree. And I don't know if they're going to work or not. There's a 50-50 shot on that. It might even be.
I was about to say, I thought the front mount was $600. Okay, so that's another one. I can't even tell the difference between them, guys. Glad you guys are clarifying, helping me keep track of all this nonsense from these guys. Well, that's his latest Facebook postings. If you want to take a look and help him line his pockets with some hundos.
Less than that odds. So we're going to wait till it gets a little darker, and I'm going to go out there and try it. I don't know if I can video it because I got to use 2 hands. But anyway, I just got them today. Took a week almost to get here because I don't have Prime anymore, trying to save money. Part of tonight's talk, saving money.
And did he? All right, Tim. Seriously.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have best dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
And did Tim even, and we're going to be finishing out here, guys. Did Tim even, oops, that's a weird one. Did Tim even talk about how he's saving money in this thing? I don't remember that conversation happening. I'm just surprised he got rid of the Prime. Because, you know, the way he shops and stuff, that would be a money saver for him. So maybe it is true. Maybe they told him he returned too many things. Because he is because he was always up at that Whole Foods, probably returning stuff. From covers to the garage. That's what I thought. That was more expensive. Okay. I'm telling you, I can't keep up with stuff. I walked away and came back. He's still preaching Stop the Madness. That's all he's going to do now is preach. He's keeping both mounts, selling the ramp, I believe. He said he is putting the motorcycle in the bed of the truck. The only way we can really find out what Tim is doing is either checking a court docket. No, I'm just teasing. Or obviously what's going on Facebook, because that's really what's happening in his life, what he's selling. Okay. All right. So thank you for clarifying. The dogs are wrestling. Yep. Yes. Yes. They want to get out because it's a nice day. So I'm going to finish it here, guys. Happy early Easter. It is Good Friday. I hope everybody has some wonderful weekend plans. I'm going to see what's happening tomorrow, whether it's just a regular, it's going to depend on how exciting Tim's content gets. Whether we just do a regular live or if I just do a members only for the weekend. I don't know. I know I've got some things I need to get up to here. I'd be curious to know what Tim's doing with his taxes. I need to finish mine and some other things that are obviously of importance. I certainly appreciate everybody's support today. Let's finish out this poll here. Thank you for all 49 votes, almost 50. Can we get to 50 votes on that poll? The poll is, will Tim put the KLX in the truck bed? So far, 65% say no. 22% say only if he can travel. Yay! Oh, I had 50 and then it came. Yay, 50 votes. Thank you. And 12% say yes. Thank you for the person who got me to the 50th vote. So it was no at 64%. People still don't think that he's going to put that thing in the back of the truck. That he talks about only if he can travel. I don't know what's going to spur him to travel. He's had every opportunity to travel. He is in an RV. I just don't think Tim likes the idea of paying even for an RV site. I think even that pains him. And he is supposedly, every time he gets one of those e-bikes, he gets what? $700, $800. Obviously, he has to pay taxes on them, but he's still netting something in his pocket on it. He's not like somebody like me who would actually keep and use the products I have and value them. And, because I actually wouldn't want to have anybody themselves go ahead and get something and I not actually think it's something I'd want them to my own home or in my own life. But I guess for somebody like Tim, you have to keep churning over these e-bikes in order to sell them. Maybe I need to get into the e-bike market. Hey, seems like an easy way to make $700, $800. I got offered once a exercise machine, like something like equivalent to a Peloton. And I read just the worst reviews about them and how difficult it was to have the membership and how the bike wasn't that great and this, that, and the other. And I just thought, I don't need that in my house collecting dust. And I'm certainly not going to promote it to my audience. So I've had items that I potentially could have turned around and maybe sold on Facebook Marketplace or whatever like Tim does. And I've chose not to do it. Obviously, with my having been somewhat, we know why everything. I'm trying to be just, minding my speech, but that potentially some of the things that have happened with my channel have come through all the sort of stuff that I've had to go through, and it's going to take some time for me to be found. And I just appreciate everybody who comes in and watches us, and I keep trying to get us so we can keep growing this community. So if anybody has any suggestions, I always say about interesting things. Like I said, I saw that thing about Palm Beach Pete, who supposedly looks like Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll just do a thing of just fun stuff I found around, just some odd stuff from around the internet. And you can join us if you want to chat about that. Like I said, I found this one guy who does these hilarious takes on fashion shows that are absolutely just drop dead funny. Just stuff to maybe give us a good laugh, maybe some things to have a chit chat about. I hope everybody, if you are traveling, that you will be safe. It is a gorgeous weekend. So if you are coming and traveling here to the city of Virginia Beach for the Easter weekend, I hope it's glorious for you because it's starting. I mean, the weather has been just gorgeous. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to get my steps in because we know how important that is. And I just hope you all stay safe, healthy, and we'll see you on the next one. I really appreciate the support, guys. Oh my gosh, we're on a countdown. Press charges Johnny Vegas. He's not reporting income from any of the reviews he does. He needs to. He talked about his taxes the other day. I didn't do any reviews last year, so I don't have any to add on my taxes. I probably was in the doghouse for many companies last year. So yeah. Don't forget to hit the likes on the way out, guys, if you hadn't had a chance to do that. It was fun. And if you want to catch us on the replay, I appreciate that one too. All right, guys. See you later. Oh, gosh. I hope Tim changes up his content. I just can't take this religious talk anymore.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much my queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.